trainers. Today I wanted to address a huge question, something that can sometimes be a fight with new clients, something that does take a little bit of time to grasp, so I wanted to go ahead and nail this down. Tim, why the hell do you not talk to dogs when you're training them? Now, it's crazy. Anybody that knows me knows I can't stop talking. I certainly talk to dogs when I'm training them. But with that said, there's some validity there. Because I really push people, especially after post-board and train, immediately after a board and train. A lot of times I'm telling these people for the first week, I don't want them talking to their dogs. Why would I say that? Well, it kind of goes into a bigger question. And that's the idea of what's the difference between training and conditioning, right? The difference of training a dog to understand that when I say something like sit, if you put your butt on the ground, I'll exchange food. I'll give you food for that. As opposed to, say, a dog that was formerly leash aggressive and making the decision to turn around and look at us when he sees dogs, right? This sometimes looks like witchcraft to people. And there's a very, just one step that I'm cutting out, which I think is delivering the point to the dogs in a very fast way. And that's that I don't give a verbal preparatory command. I don't tell dogs no for this. The reason being is because I want dogs to think that any corrections, and this could span anything from a verbal no to a flat collar, to a martingale, a choke chain, a pinch collar, a freaking toe chain, I don't know, whatever you're using with your giant dog. Anything that we're using to relay, I don't like what you're doing right now, please do this less frequently. Whatever we're using for that, and then whatever we're using to reward, right? Treats, love, toys. I ideally want you to carry treats or have a toy on you. But the idea is I'm letting the dog know in a very, very clear, easy to understand way that if you simply walk towards a dog, pay attention to the dog, look over at the dog, you do get a small correction. However, that correction only exists to let you know what you will be rewarded for, to remind you that I have food, I have your reward, I have what you would like on me. If you simply turn around and look at me, I will give you food. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dude, I see a dog and he loses his mind. We need to take a step back, right? Dogs, military working dogs specifically, trust me, you can't just start shooting guns around them just automatically, right? The same dog in the video had a serious issue with starter pistols early on. So with that, it took a lot of conditioning. It took distance. We couldn't do it at 50 yards. We actually had to do it at 200. What I want to do is I want to get distance from the dog. I want to get away from her, whatever that distraction is. Squirrels, cats, people, the treat lady who walks through your neighborhood. I know that's a big one too. So with that, I want to get distance. And in a very simple sense, I'm not going to ask the dog to do too much at once. All I care about is that he doesn't pull. So for this very first week, let's say, all I care about is that the moment that the dog sees that person, we're initiating our corrective device, whether that be a clap, if we've used that, and that will work in that situation. This needs to immediately work. I need to see the dog look back at you. And that's usually done by giving the dog a couple of quick pops on the leash, something different than it usually feels. It doesn't need to be cruel or mean. We don't need to see the dog's body jerk back. If that dog will continue to look at me like, bro, you got food when we're here? And in a general sense, guys, all I'm trying to do for that first bit is let the dog know, hey, this correction becomes active when we're here, and these rewards become hyperactive when we're here. Now, if I'm not saying anything, the dog's going to be left to assume that his behavior is what caused it. We see this 10 out of 10 times. But the idea is I want the dog to know that these tools are being primarily used at these times. It will blow your mind how quickly your dog will start to make the decision to turn around and look at you when he sees a dog. Try it out and let me know any questions. All right, guys. See you next week. Look at you! You're going this way. You're getting